Try to use just a few minutes to put this project in a much larger perspective as to how how the President, this administration, the Department of Energy, really is approaching our energy future. It is very strongly based, the President's words, an all-of-the-above energy approach in the service of three major objectives. One is, as we've already heard here, growing the economy, creating good jobs. Second, advancing our energy security interests, not only for the United States alone, but for our allies and friends. And if we look at the situation in Ukraine today, you understand what I mean in terms of energy security of our allies and friends being important for our national security. And third, moving towards the low carbon economy that we need to address climate change, risk mitigation, and perhaps unfortunately, adaptation to some of the harbingers that we are seeing from global warming. Secondly, I want to say that in addition to all the above energy, and I'll come back to that, meaning that we really are looking to develop all of our resources, we also work all along the innovation chain. And what we're seeing today is part of that because you may see, one of these jars in particular, I can assure you, is the result of a lot of research and innovation. But then we also, if we're going to kickstart this, we have to work with the private sector, with state and local governments, with our research institutions, universities and laboratories, work together to get these technologies deployed and drive those costs down to be competitive. So this plant shows all of these features. The economy, clearly, as we've heard, developing this biofuels industry, building these plants that make stuff is really about providing really good jobs, in fact, going forward. In fact, I would observe that in the country, in no small measure connected to the revolution that we have seen in our energy production, in particular the oil and natural gas revolution, that's been a major part of really a renaissance in manufacturing in this country. In the last 4 years, 700,000 manufacturing jobs. And I want to emphasize those manufacturing jobs, be it for a fuel or for some electronics or whatever, those have the best spillover effects into the rest of the economy. For one thing, 2/3 of all of the private sector R&D in this country is associated with the manufacturing sector. And again, we see that really here in the sense that this is not just about putting steel in the ground, it was about also developing an innovative conversion process to take the cellulose into biofuels. Energy security, that second goal, obviously. Even as we produce more oil in this country, we should not lose sight of the fact that we still do import 7.5 million barrels a day of crude oil. We've made tremendous progress in lowering our imports, lowering our imbalance of payments, but we still import a lot of oil. And for those reasons, and for our environmental reasons, we never lose sight of the need to reduce our oil dependence. And there are three major pathways: efficient vehicles, electrified vehicles, and alternative fuels. So this cellulosic biofuels push is part and parcel, again, of economy, energy security, and environmental goals. So it's really important, and we are seeing, I believe, there may be a few rough spots in the road as we go forward, but we are seeing here today in Yucatan really the beginning of a new industry that is going to address all of these key goals. The other thing I mentioned was working all along the innovation chain. Basic research, development, demonstration, deployment, and here again, however, I'm going to ask actually my two colleagues here just to stand up so you can see a face. Dave, you can stand up. So Dave Danielson here, on my right, your left, heads our Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. They work on research and development, and that office made an initial grant for what we are seeing here today. And Peter Davidson, on my left, your right, heads our loan office, so that's on the deployment end, getting things like this plant built. So thank you, gentlemen. And as I say, we work all along that innovation chain. So today, on the deployment end, we are seeing how in this case, the loan office could really help Abengoa. By the way, as Manuel said, a partner not only in this project, but also in solar projects. Maybe we'll see more. I should say that the loan program has committed roughly $30 billion in an all-of-the-above energy way. Fossil energy projects that lower emissions, nuclear projects, helping to build the first next-generation nuclear plants down in Georgia, so-called Generation 3+, renewables, like what we are seeing today, and solar plants as well, and efficiency projects. So across the board, the program, let me say, not only here in Yucatan, but across the board, has been a tremendous success. I mentioned $30 billion deployed, a 2% default rate. That's pretty enviable in any portfolio, including your retirement plan. And it's doing what it's about to do. So, for example, if I take photovoltaic, solar photovoltaics at large scale, 100 megawatt and beyond plants. The loan program kickstarted the first of those plants. Now, there are 17 additional projects, either operating or under construction, with purely private sector financing. So that's what it means to be kickstarting this, and we are hopeful that this is what we are seeing now is the front end of exactly that story in terms of cellulosic biofuels. We get a few going, and then the private sector will take off. Thank you, Secretary. And by the way, we can have a lot more of these stories, create those jobs, kick off really new industries in this country, because we have $40 billion of authority left to go, which again, we have a lot of very interesting proposals for, again, these projects that will serve all three of these goals: jobs, security, environment. So it's really a great story. But as I said, we also work at other stages of the innovation chain. Dave's program actually has got the order of 20, I believe, biorefinery types of investments from early stage to getting up into the pilot stage. But also, of course, really the basic research part of this is also very, very important. And I'll just say that, for example, our universities are, of course, ultimately the origin of innovation in this country. For one thing, they produce the graduates who go out and innovate. And so here, for example, in Kansas, I know that Kansas State and 7 other universities are collaborating on the Midwest Bioenergy Outreach Project that studies everything from harvesting costs and infrastructure to move biomass in an efficient way to the chemistry, the intricate chemistry and technology involved for inventing new breakthroughs. So we have to do this across the entire innovation chain because we need to drive down the costs through innovation of all of our energy technologies and fuels. We need to do it now. That's on the deployment end. But we also need to prepare the big breakthroughs that we're going to need in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, as we keep using our innovation advantage in this country to our best use. So that really is, I think, the message. We will continue to work in those two dimensions, across the energy space and along the innovation chain. And again, this plant today and our partnership with Abengoa just checks all the boxes. We are eager now to see the startup of this plant producing its 25 million gallons per year, drawing on the feedstock within typically a 50-mile radius, providing, as the governor said, a new business, really, a new revenue stream for our agricultural community. Something, by the way, that we work very closely with Secretary Vilsack on. And so, thank you all. Thank you for the hospitality, not only for today, but for this plant. Let's get it going. Thank you.